Around the world, a staggering number of children live in conflict zones, and many have been forcibly displaced from their homes. These numbers are not just statistics. They represent real children who are facing unimaginable hardships like loss of family, trauma, exploitation, and even the loss of their childhood. It is our collective responsibility to ensure that these children, these rights, are not just written in words, but translated into meaningful action. In Ghana, as we prepare for our general elections this December, it is crucial to remember that children are often the most vulnerable in times of political and social unrest. We must work tirelessly to ensure that peace reigns and that children do not endure the most instability. In response, our organization is launching the Stomping for Peace campaign. This initiative aims to amplify the voices of children, emphasizing their need for a peaceful environment and advocating for their mental well-being and active participation in peace building.
Stomping for Peace campaign. This initiative rallies for children all over the world to stomp their feet, not in frustration, but in solidarity with children growing up in conflict zones. Today, as we gather here in peace, let us remember the millions of children who are not so fortunate. Did you know that right now, over 400 million children are living in conflict zones across the world? This means that they wake up each day with fear in their hearts, not knowing whether they will lose their homes, their families, or even their own lives. Of these children, 43.3 million are forcibly displaced from their homes. That is like every child in Ghana, plus millions more. Suddenly, having nowhere safe to live. This is their reality. These children face severe consequences, losing their loved ones, suffering from both physical and psychological trauma, and becoming vulnerable to exploitation and harm. Today, we are not just launching a campaign to stomp our feet for attention. We are launching a crusade to stomp our feet to make the world listen. We are stomping to demand that children everywhere, no matter where they are, be allowed to grow up in peace, with love, safety, and hope for a better tomorrow. We want the world to hear that children should not have to bear the burden of war and conflicts. This year marks the 35th anniversary of the United Nations Conventions on the Rights of the Child, a special document that outlines the rights of every child. However, we are left wondering, should we celebrate? Can we truly say we have made enough progress when so many children still suffer from the impact of war and violence? Article 38 of the UNCRC says that countries must do everything they can to protect children affected by armed conflicts. Yet, we are still seeing children in danger across the globe. On behalf of all children, I ask a simple question. How much longer must we wait for the promises of peace to be kept? How much longer will children have to suffer because of conflicts that they did not create? In the coming months, our own country will hold general elections on December 7th. Elections are an important part of our democracy, but they can also bring tension and unrest. While adults may know how to navigate these moments, children are often the most vulnerable during these times. We see and hear everything happening around us, and it can be scary when there are arguments, conflicts, or violence in our communities. This is why SOS Children's Villages is launching the Stomping for Peace campaign, not just to stand in solidarity with children around the world, but also to call on everyone here in Ghana to ensure that this year's elections are peaceful.
And it is our humble request that our politicians in particular, and those of us who support political parties, not to take for granted the peace that we are enjoying, but to cherish it and to make sure that this peace stays with us for the foreseeable future. And our children in particular can grow in peace, they can develop, and they can achieve their greatest potential. All of us have a part to play. And I call on all of us here, and to the politicians in particular, not to do anything that will undermine the peace that we have in this country. We should love our country, we should all dream and have a vision of a peaceful and prosperous Ghana. On this note, I would like to declare the Stomping for Peace in Ghana duly launched.